However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godo? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Malia, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godo. For the same reason, huh? Can you stop drinking?
No. Okay, it's right. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person ties you with Maya Fey together in this trilogy. Mia Fey, I believe.
Yes.
Because...
It's coffee mug.
and because, well, I'm not gonna say it. You'll see why.
We already said it in it.
Yes.
Some point.
Well, then I'm gonna say it. Okay. She was his partner. There. There's a very good reason why Mia Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Mia Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godo is a defense attorney? With your honors-piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godo, his real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Yes, I am Spanish part-time.
Argentine.
I'm Mexican part-time. Diego Armando. Mexican part-time. Anyways, the last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case.
It all started with bird by sleep. Wait.
A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Remember that day.
Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise.
Oh, you forgot the bitch.
But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. Well, I did! However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense lawyer at the office where Mia works.
I am not
It's my fault! It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
I have dots competition to attend. I must go. My planet needs me. Mia, you can't cry yet. I break my favorite coffee mug. Damn it. Now I'm bleeding. The only time I can cry is when it's all over. So it's not over. Oh, I remember that day. I lost my favorite coffee mug that day. I was moved by her. And my coffee mug. Dead. Rest in peace, Muggy. Anyways, the way she put her faith in her clients, that pure sweetheart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne, because she's a bitch. Me and I truly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then, one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me, because she's a bitch, and it had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courtroom cafeteria because she's a bitch.
I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Yep.
Even I didn't see it coming. And now I don't see barely anything. Anyways, Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. How dare she!
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't that at all.
Yeah, you were just in a coma. No official reports ever actually call it a murder. It was just in deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman poisoned the real number of my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I never regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew.
Oh.
And one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of the daughter cup of coffee. What?
5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
So let me get this straight. You're drinking more coffee than usual because you haven't drank coffee for 5 years.
Okay.
Is that the reason? The worst possible news was waiting for me.
She was dead.
Fuck. Well, fuck me. Mia Fey was dead. For the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I love has been murdered. By the way, they were fucking boyfriend and girlfriend, in case you didn't know. Anyways, they were a couple. And the woman I loved had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loaded?
The woman who had Spike and Scowling hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. She's a bitch.
She'll be always remembered as bitch.
Bitch, bitchy, bitch. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was youth, right?
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drunk that stupid poison, Mia never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for leaving. She goes by the name of Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when Karane's village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that at the time I was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought he could do that. I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris, Arzuki Temple, and Missy Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was taking the fall in my backup plan, in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean, officially? You have heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government.
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Kurangi had great authority.
Even without her official position, Missy Faye still wielded a great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you. Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you how far away she was from you. She never whatever.
Stop thinking about you.
She never would stop doing it. She was always... That's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you, look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with a sword in it?
The day they planned to be carried arrived soon enough. We met for the first time in Azakura Temple.
Oh, see the conversation.
That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay if necessary.
Coffee shop.
Yes, even if I meant paying the ultimate price. Mother.
Ah, touchy story.
Touchy stories, touchy! Oh god, that night of the crime. There was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
Putting eyeballs in the places there are no eyeballs.
Wait, what?
You mean pearls, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight?
Well, same I do every other night. Take over the world! I mean, read a book.
If you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. Oh, that was the conversation that we heard.
Yes. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part of the Morgan plan, but she never showed up. She was worried about being involved in the inner temple. That was the thing we're most afraid of. And that's why I'm tired of speaking, god damn it. Misty Fey had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearl wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As master of the current and Misty Fey power was supreme. So that's how it went down. The channel Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl couldn't be able to. What?
What indeed? Wait a minute! What? Is this true?
My role in that plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt my Fae. That's why I hid myself in the inner temple. Just in case I needed to be safe from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Godo.
Anyways, that's all I'm going to admit to try.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense warrior. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. Homework!
The background leading up to the incident has been laid bare.
Who's never good at homework?
There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now.
Yes.
Faye, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godo. Or Diego Armando, whatever makes you feel happy.
Whatever makes you fancy. Well, Tried, if you're a real deal, then finish the thing once for all. Show us beyond the shadow of doubt that you can do this. Finish this. Finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't.
Maya.
I heard the whole thing. My sister, in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godo. I can't do it. I can't testify again against him. After all, he's the man who put his life in the line to protect me and me too.
Maya, I know that.
Nick.
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Faye, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Just don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. Because you're Phoenix, right, after all. Get it? I'm ready now, Nick.
Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness.
Can I have a break?
What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
I don't have any breaks.
The time
of the murder.
Yep.
I get it. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I did ask your help, but just then I was splattering with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she stuck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out, the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
A horrible scream, she says. These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them. But then they disappeared all of a sudden. Things break, right? Even the best theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fey? It looks like you still can't prove that.
Maya's telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me.
Aha! I'm Felix Wright, bitch!
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. We have to go with the horrible screen, don't we?
No, we just have to press 2 things.
Which is?
The first one and the 5th one.
Just beforehand, I think I saw some red lights. Oh, okay.
It's pretty much the phrases that start with just.
Lights shining in the dark? I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. I can't tell you for sure where Mr. Goldo's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but...
Press start.
Let's press start anyway. But just after that, you turn towards the lights and call for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Goldo's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember. After all, there was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights? Okay,
Okay, now let's go to the 5th segment.
Which is,
Just at the moment.
just at the moment.
At that moment. There we go.
There we go. It was a horrible screen. Yeah, I was picking up the screen as well to press it for some reason. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then. Was it Dolly Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? Oh my god. So then, that scream came from the killer? That's gotta be it.
I think Dolly Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder...
There's a contradiction.
Yep. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Wow. Remember the testimony she just gave? Before the killer let out a scream, Nye said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade of the stab had already been plugged into the victim.
Ah, is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff.
Yeah, there's only one thing we have that describes that. If you're so sure about that, then why keep you waiting any longer, right?
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
If Dolly Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could have been used to...
Strike back at the killer.
Yes. So what do you think, Enes? There's only one thing that could have done it.
The Shishishito.
No.
Oh no.
The Shishishito is not even in that area!
But besides this...
Yes.
Besides this... The dagger.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
The bloody dagger.
Bloody
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. The dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree.
Yes, the detective found that morning that brought it to me.
Dolly Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well.
Oh yeah, it just got cut. Just because he went out, scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all I know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
Wait a minute. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Oh snap. So you're saying the blood of this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood will prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godo, it would prove that it's your blood. Don't make me laugh.
I am Godo, bitch. Anyways, nice theory, alright.
I don't have anything to say!
Yes.
Order the court! Is this the end? What done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of the scientific test.
Well, this is the last caught in pursuit, if that's what you're asking. Ah, let me ask you something, right? Let's just say that it turned out I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by the detective brought to me. There was already a blood stain on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes, what does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I couldn't have washed the blade off the planted another person's blood
Blood on it. It can't be!
In that any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance!
What? In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, with this, continue your testimony.
Wait a minute!
What's the problem?
I know probably I shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction with Nick's explanation.
Maya?
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But, if Mr. Gooder had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes could have been bloody rip in them, right? God damn it, I can't fucking talk.
Maya? If you just change his clothes, that solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back in the day of the murder? Everyone was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Oh, that's right. Once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr.
Gooder was already waiting for them.
with a grudge in his face.
He never had the chance to change his clothes.
Ah! Damn it! I don't have anything to say either! What order in court? What the witness says is... Hang on a minute. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Just take smart pills during the last recess.
Damn it.
Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes and before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them.
That's stupid. That's impossible, right? You know how cold it gets there late at night. After a few minutes, no clothes on, you're be frozen solid.
Ah! Damn it, he's right.
Damn it, I hate when he's right. So that's all you have got? I knew you weren't
Tough enough.
tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already.
If we were here?
So come on, Pride, can you do it or not?
Yeah, how about it, Mr. Wright? You accuse Mr. Good of being the killer, but can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. That is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. If I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer.
Exactly.
I can't prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition.
Oh shit!
Oh God, cornered!
Things just got real! Let's go!
Just as you wanted.
Ah, that's good. I fight it until the bitter end, right?